the idea that urban consumers who basically buy the food that we produce, it's very convenient for them to say that the farmer is the polluter, and therefore they shouldn't be allowed to trade rights in pollution. But they're completely disassociating themselves from the process. As a farmer, I don't grow food to pollute the environment. I grow food to feed people and to make an economic return from that activity. We've never internalised the environmental costs of food production into the price that we pay as consumers. So the reality is we've spent in New Zealand 150 years telling consumers that they don't have to do it and that the price of food can stay really cheap. The reality is if you want clean waterways, you're not going to achieve that through legislation. The costs to farmers, if you just legislate for it, the costs to farmers and to rural communities and to New Zealand's economy will be too great. We'll basically stuff things up. So my response to your question is urban consumers have to be part of the solution, and they have to start realising that if they want clean waterways, they need to be targeting food that's produced in a way that looks after those waterways, and they need to be willing to pay a premium for that. If you look at our farm, we're capped at our 2004 stocking levels. In that time, my costs have risen 48%, just a little over 4% a year. The Beef and Lamb Economic Service monitors our farm, and I'm using their figures when I say 48%. Our accountant might tell us that they've gone up slightly more. So you are talking about a cap on incomes for farmers generally if you're going to cap nutrients. So I can't grow any more meat per hectare. There's nothing on the science horizon that will allow me to do that. We're at the top of our production per hectare now, and I can't grow my business in that sense. So the only way I can continue in business is to really grow the value of the meat, the static amount of meat that I can grow.
Which ultimately was the driver behind the creation of Taupo beef, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, we presented evidence in the Environment Court that showed that over a 10 to 15 year period on capped income and rising costs, your business doesn't look that flash at the end of it. So our only option, as I said earlier, was to grow the value of our beef. And Sharon and I created the Taupo beef brand to test that assertion. We got an environmental tick, if you want to call it that, from the Waikato Regional Council. So we basically used the legislation and the auditing process that fell out of it as a way of verifying our brand claims around water quality. So if a consumer was concerned about the claims we were making around Taupo beef, they can go into Waikato Regional Council's website, they can drill down and they can see that Mike and Sharon Barton and all the other supplying farmers were audited in 2014 and they were fully compliant, and that the results of the 2015 audit are just about to be published on the web. So if you're going to establish a claim around water quality, it can't just be some marketing person flapping their arms and saying that this is cool. It has to be substantiated and verified. So we did that, and we started just a little over 4 years ago with Taupo beef, and we targeted really high-end restaurants, Hooker Lodge, the Hilton and places like that. And to be honest, it's been a roaring success. Consumers, if you get the story right and if you communicate the issues to them, I've actually been really heartened that consumers will pay a premium if they understand the story. And we basically can't keep up with demand.
You are actually getting a premium from that from that environmental tick.
Yes, it varies at the different times of the year because there's seasonal variations in the price of beef. But our premium at a retail level, because we sell through a retail butchery as well as to restaurants, our premium is between 20 and 30% retail premium over other high-end beef brands. So if you take Angus Pure or those other brands that are recognised for their quality, we're achieving a premium of up to 30% above them.
Sounds tasty, mate. Where do I get some?
At the moment, you can only get it in Taupo.
Only in Taupo?
At the butcher there, M21, or about 15 restaurants in Taupo. But we're trying to grow the brand and we're trying to grow the market. So I would hope that within the next 6 months you'd be able to get it in Wellington and Auckland, Queenstown. We have had interest from a chain of restaurants in Tokyo where they understand this issue and they're really keen to take our product. So I need to get more farmers on board. I'm not going to get on the menu of a restaurant and then get taken off because I can't supply, because you never get back on.
Yeah.
So we're going to grow this very, very carefully.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, no, we've had a lot of policy people from Wellington that have spent time in Taupo over the years analysing us.
And they've eaten a lot of Taupo beef?
Yeah, and now they're wanting to buy it down here, so it's all good.
Awesome, that's fantastic. And so, is the brand going to stay Taupo beef, or are you...
Well, while we're just talking, I mean, Taupo is the only catchment in the country where you can make these claims, because we've finished the process. So the brand will stay as such whilst it's only Taupo, and of course that limits it because there's only so many farmers left in the catchment. But we're working with a group called Food Farms and Freshwater to try and roll out this process as other catchments get caught up in the national policy statement on freshwater and start to have to do their thing in relation to water quality. That will bring on other catchments. I think at that point you'd stop calling it Taupo beef because you're bringing in catchments outside of Taupo. So we would probably look at another name and another brand at that point, but the lessons learned from Taupo beef we're willing to make available to any catchments and any interested farmers.
Fantastic. So go to Lake Taupo, have a swim, enjoy the algae-free waters of our beautiful largest lake, and while you're there, have a feed of guilt-free Taupo beef.